where you are? That is the big question tonight as the elements change depending on which part of Washington state you're in.
Snow in the mountains, shutting down our mountain passes, rain and flooding in the lowlands. It's why our team extended our weather alert for another day. So good evening and thanks for joining us at 8. I'm David Rose.
And I'm Jamie Tompkins. We have from the North Sound to the South. Our team is fanned out across the region, weathering the elements so you don't have to. So let's get right over to Fox 13's Aaron Mayofsky. And Aaron, this is not going away anytime soon.
No, for sure. In fact, I wanted to start off with some video here that we've been seeing of some of the flooding that's going through in Rochester and Thurston County. Thanks to Aaron Norquist for sending this in. We can see some of the mudslides and the snow melting and the impacts of the heavy rain that has been around. We are watching those showers pick up continuously. We've been watching this since we've been on the morning show here with Brian McMillan as he got going this morning, talking about the hours on end that the rain was moving through. We're still seeing that heavy at times. We've noticed some of the showers have let up in the southwest sound and southeast interior, and now they're moving up over the northwest Washington coast near the Olympics as well. In Shelton, you're in a heavy band of showers. I-5 corridor windshield wipers are going. If you don't have to be out driving in this, especially along the I-5 corridor where there could be some ponding on the roadway, don't do it. As we look over to the mountains, we're starting to see that rain bleed right up over in the mountains as those snow levels go 4,000 or 5,000 feet tonight. Passes are closed, and they will be closed along I-90 through at least Sunday. Stevens Pass, we're still looking at that with closures there. Our weather impacts for western Washington: heavy mountain snow, high wind gusts expected, and heavy rain at times. That will start to wrap up as we get through tomorrow, but because of that, we're seeing some major flooding around the area. Here's some of the rain totals that we can look at just to get you through Friday afternoon. You can see not quite an inch in Seattle, a little bit less in Tacoma, but we're picking up some good rain as we move through the next 24 hours. Here's a look at our flood warnings right now. You can see several rivers, including Issaquah Creek, just breached and went over there, the banks. So we'll continue to watch that all the way through Puget Sound. And as we get going for our morning commute tomorrow, expect temperatures about 45 degrees warm as this warm front stalled out and hung with us. Then we will be in a cold front situation. I'll get into that more when we get to the 7-day forecast as rain turns to showers tomorrow.
Aaron, thank you. We're tracking expected flooding in Mason County as well. This is in the Skokomish Valley area where river floodwaters have been rising fast. Today, people were told to either evacuate or be prepared to shelter in place for at least 72 hours. Authorities expect some areas will be cut off due to flooding and road closures. And it might be hard to get around parts of Kent tonight as well. And you can see a number of side streets closed because they're underwater. The area of 256th and 148th is blocked off, and so is part of Central Avenue and East James Street. It's a reminder to find another way around instead of trying to drive past the signs. You never know how deep that standing water is just by looking at it, and you could end up getting stuck.
In Issaquah, people filled sandbags hoping to soak up some of the rain. The city is in a flood watch, is expecting flooding similar to what they saw in 2020. The city handed out free sandbags at a community center yesterday in preparation for this, and we talked with a local volunteer there.
I live in the neighborhood and just want to see our residents stay dry and keep the roads moving. You know, we've just had some the floods have been getting worse and worse. And we've got so much snow in the mountains right now that this one's likely to be pretty bad. So, you know, we've got the library and the restaurants and the neighbors that are all gonna get flooded and suffer because of it. So I figured I'd come out and help out for a few hours.
Residents can also arrange to have the sandbags delivered to them.
And as the ground soaks up all the water, there's a huge risk for landslides in parts of our region. This is a look at the current map, and the places in yellow are under a landslide advisory. You can see most of western Washington falls under this. This map showing the potential with precipitation predictions over the next 24 to 48 hours.
And already we're seeing a few slides. This one happening in Renton, closing Maple Valley Highway for the time being. So avoid that area if you can. No word on when this will be cleaned up or when that might be reopened.
We're also just learning a landslide is closing State Route 108 in Grays Harbor for the second time today. This is a look at what crews are dealing with. This is at milepost 5. Troopers with Washington State Patrol are asking you to avoid the area and find a different way around. And while the snow is beautiful to look at, it is creating treacherous conditions in our state's mountain passes. All of them closed for the next several days because it's just not safe to drive.
Fox 13 News reporter Frankie Thompson joining us from North Bend, where truckers are waiting it out. They may be there the whole weekend.
Drivers who use I-90 are up against large snowdrifts, avalanche danger, and fallen trees. WashDOT says conditions are just too risky for anyone to travel through Snoqualmie Pass. That's why several dozens of semi-truck drivers are parked here waiting until the pass reopens. Washington State Patrol is blocking all eastbound lanes at exit 34. So many trucks are lined up along the interstate hauling a full load. Some of the trucks we see include Walmart, Costco, and Safeway, all hauling goods or out for pickup. We spoke to a couple truck drivers who say they would rather be safe than out in those dangerous conditions, but tell us closing the pass these next couple of days will hurt an already low supply chain.
It's not just me, it's everybody sitting on the off-ramp over there. If I'm not there on time, you're gonna see an empty shelf for either a day or two, you know, sometimes a week, and it's terrible. Most of the loads that are coming through, you know, people are expecting, you know, resupply of what's going on, and yeah, it's just terrible. To be a driver and not be able to pull through and say, hey, I could show up on time and get this done for you, it's really nerve-wracking. It's really sad, too.
Roads are closed on the west side of the pass in Ellensburg at milepost 106. WashDOT says after the upcoming snowfall, crews will start plowing the roads and clearing any fallen trees. Patrols will also assess any avalanche risks and possibly do some avalanche control. Anyone who was planning to travel through the pass over these next couple of days will have to change their plans. WashDOT says again the pass is closed tonight and tomorrow and possibly Saturday. Reporting in North Bend, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.
Frankie, thank you. And the closure is forcing people to either wait it out or just find a different way around. We checked to see how long it would take to get around the mess. From Seattle to Spokane, the current travel time is a little more than 12 hours. And to put that into perspective, on an average day, that drive is about 4.5 hours.
Whatcom County is working to clear the snow and ice from the roadways. In the meantime, a reminder to take it slow, especially on winding freeway on-ramps. A semi slid into the ditch heading onto I-5 today near Meridian and McLeod Street. The driver fortunately is okay, and the truck has since been removed.
And because of the current conditions, a number of schools in our region are already announcing early release. These are just a few that we know about so far. And for a look at the full list of closures as they come in and to track the latest conditions where you live, go to our website, fox13seattle.com, and click on the weather tab at the very top.